Yes guys, Nolan here again, get reeled. We're back again, another episode down at the slips. It is a bit windy today. You will remember me fishing just on the beach for tailor, but we're going to do something a little bit different today. Today I'm going to try my luck in the slips for a bream or a Ludwig, and we'll see. The thing is though, when I got here I saw Marlin the seal going up and down, so I know he's been in here, and usually that's not a good sign, but you never know. We'll give it a shot. I got the yak on the roof, so we are going to put the yak in a little bit later, but I thought I'll just give it a flick over here, put a worm in and see what's happening just on the edges. Might head over to the lakeside as well, and get a couple of casts in for a tailor too. I don't mind catching a few tailor. They're good eating when they're fresh, and they make an excellent bait as well. Tailor, I don't know if a lot of people use them as bait. I do watch a few shows in South Africa. We use them for garrick and stuff like that as a live bait, but even chunk baits and strip baits, they make a very good oily bloody bait. So I might, it's going into winter now, so collecting bait is not such a bad thing. You have fun and you get to catch a fish as well, so it's good. So I might just rig up a rod quickly and then maybe cast it out and see if we can't tempt up a fish. A bream, that is. So I have fished here in here with the boat, and I've done well on some really nice sized bream in here. It's a bit of hit and a miss, but that's fishing. You sometimes catch fish, sometimes you don't, and even if you get one or you bag out, it doesn't matter. It's just the fun of getting out and enjoying this beautiful place in Gippsland. Once my boat is ready, I will take you to a few other locations as well. But we're gonna have a fish here for now. We'll see how we go. Quickly set up a stick here. I'm also gonna show you how I rig up for the bream as well. I'm just going to use this line to thread it through my rod guides, and then I'll change it again, put a new bit of lead on there. That's this backpack. So cut that out, keep that there for the bin later. And then I'm going to 13-pound, I'm going to fish 13-pound leader as my wind on. This is fluorocarbon leader, meant to be pretty invisible in the water. going to talk you all through this rig. So I slip a size 2, size 3, size 1 depending on the conditions. I'm going to fish a little bit heavy because I want to chuck this out almost to the other side, I guess. So I'm using a size 3, and just put that onto your main line. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to chuck a glow bead on. Now the glow bead I'm putting on not because I want it to glow during the day. It's more just to protect the swivel, I guess, from that sinker smashing onto it. Because what it can do sometimes when that sinker does rest on that line, it damages the line. And then the last thing you want to do is losing a fish because of that, especially a nice bream or ludwig. So I've got that all set up now there, and then from there I'm going to put a leader that's probably, I vary it between 30 and 40 centimeters, sometimes 50, but I'd say as a norm I would fish about 40 centimeters, I guess, most of the time. And I'm just gonna stick that on the end of the swivel. Simplest and easiest fishing knot that I've learned over the times. Form 3 loops over your main line, stick it through, it forms a little figure of 8, and wet it down and just pull it tight. I'll trim that tag off, and that's it there. So now what we're gonna do is gonna get myself a long shank hook. I do plan on keeping a feed today, so circles not going to be my choice of hook today, and I'm gonna put a fairly big piece of worm on. So I am gonna use a long shank, still on the smallish side long shank. And I'm gonna create my own bait keeper using the line by just leaving a little tag after doing your knot. So that's it there. That'll catch a small fish and a bigger fish. And I find that by trimming that line just slightly longer, as you push a worm over that bit there acts as a bait keeper and keeps it on this long shank that doesn't have the bait keeping barbs on the back. So we'll see how we go. Bait of choice today will be these nice sandworms. These are sandworms, nice big chunky ones, and we're just gonna roll that over the hook there. Pull them over the top. They're not the easiest things to put on a hook. It takes a bit of getting used to, but I normally just leave a little bit of that hanging out. That tag is going to stop it from moving back down. And that's a deliciously looking sandworm there that I'm going to chuck out now, and let's see what happens. Well, that wind is really starting to pick up a little bit on this side, but once we get to the other side of the dunes it should be fine. Try not to tramp my worm there, that'd be stupid. And let's have a bit of a flick over here, guys. I got a nice place to sit as well. Stick that in there. I have to stick it in a bit of an angle. Oh. Yeah, that wind's really getting up there now. Not sure if I want to be out there in the yak at the moment. But I'm going to try and chuck it just somewhere there. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm not going to leave it in the rod holder. I'll just stick it on the outside like that. And we'll see what happens. Really strong breeze that we have in here now. Sorry about the wind noise, guys. This wind was predicted, but you know, they always get it wrong, or they, you know, most of the time they get it wrong. So I thought I'll put the yak on the roof anyway. And I figured if the wind wasn't what they predicted it was going to be, I'd go for a bit of a yak around. But I think they got it right this time. The one time. Bloody hell. We'll see what happens. Okay guys, just had a bit of an inquiry on this rod. On that worm bait, and I think it's a mullet. Oh, it is a mullet. So it's a yellow eye mullet, and that's actually not a bad size yellow eye mullet actually. Really good eating size yellow eye mullet. When they're fresh, these are really good, but they also make an excellent bait. I mean an absolute dynamite bait. So what I'm going to do is I'll dispatch this bad boy and we'll get fishing again. Another worm bait out, and well, I'm about to put it out. I just put it on the hook, so we're going to cast it out there again. Usually when there's one mullet around, there's quite a few kicking about, so we'll see what happens. Put that rod down there. The seal has left this little inlet. I saw him go as he was going out, and I'm not sure if he'll come back in, but yeah, he has left. No doubt he'll be arresting some fish out there. But I'll persist over here and see if we can't catch a few more. Yeah, sometimes it's nice to mix it up, catch a variety of fish. If we can, you know, get a bream, maybe, I don't know what happened here, but that's a bit of a weird setup there. Anyway, I'll sort that out just now. Yeah, we catch, you know, if we get a bream or mullet, ludwig, tailor, few different species of fish. We'll give it a shot, see what happens. On the rod, just had a bit of an inquiry. On this one, had a couple of little bites, and he's still playing with it. And this is indicative of what a bream does. Because they'll sometimes mouth off at the worm, and they won't swallow it straight away. And a mullet is more sort of like a quick tap on the end of the rod, and he's still got it in his mouth. So he's still contemplating whether to swim off with it. Let's hope he loads up. Now, I may be wrong here, but small bream don't necessarily or usually do that. Usually it's the bigger bream that play with the bait like that a bit before actually swimming off with it. And I'm hoping that this is a bigger fish. So I'm just going to leave that bait in that zone for a little while longer. But if I don't get a take on it, I will reel it up and check it again. But that's a good sign. Okay guys, we just had another inquiry. It was on the worm bait. I reckon it might be another mullet. This time a slightly better one. Beautiful mullet. And that's a better quality yellow eye. And that's the thing with this little long shank that I use is not what you'd normally use. And those of you guys see my other videos, it's not what I'll normally use for bream. But because I know these guys are in here, this will still hook a bream. Don't you worry about that. It'll still hook a bream and land it. But these buggers, I seem to get them very well on these little hooks. So he's going to go on for a feed. A nice feed of yellow eye mullet is not so bad. Okay, we'll get the bait back out there again. I don't know if you guys saw that, but when that landed, it landed right next to a little bird owl. I knew he was underneath, I just didn't know he was that close to my lane. I almost knocked him out. I'm fishing with a little bean sinker. So that wind is putting a bit of a bow on the line now. So that was almost an instant bite. I literally just cast this out there now. Just gonna hold the rod, I guess. Here comes a little tinny. That should stir the water up a little bit as the tinny goes across, and hopefully entice a fish to bite. Hopefully it's deep enough there that he misses my line. Should be alright. Two boats going past. Moment. That's the first one. And here goes the second one. As I was saying guys, as the boat goes past, usually you get a bite, and that's exactly what happened. As that boat went past, I don't know, it was a mullet because I could tell, but yeah, he absolutely hammered that worm. and left very little on the hook, which I'm just untangling at the moment. I'll give you all a look. Alright, so on that hit, he hit that worm, and that's all he left on there as the boat went past. Happens all the time, actually. A boat would go past, it'd be quiet for a while, then a boat would go past and you'll get a bite. Whether you're on a, land-based, or whether you're in a boat and a boat drives past you, especially up here in Gippsland, it happens quite a bit, like in the lakes while we're fishing for bream and ludwig and all your lake species. I can't even count how many times that has happened. After those boats go past as well, it also stirs up the edges, and bream seem to come closer in the bank, which I will try for a little bit later. But in the meantime, while these mullet are still around, gonna try and get us a few mullet, huh? A few boats just went out again. So what I've done is I've reeled up my line and I've cast it a little bit closer. And if you look in the water, you see that it's got pretty stirred up. How you going, mate?
Oh,
well, Neal's here.
I'm still vertical. What'd you say?
Neal's here again.
Hey!
Yeah, we're going to be doing a bit of fishing.
So what do you found?
I got a couple of yellow eye mullet.
All right.
Yeah, so we'll keep going and
Any
see what
size in
happens.
them?
Good ones, yeah, not bad. They were about maybe 30, 35.
All right.
Like
Yep.
yeah, so decent. I just lost one now.
Yep.
Neal's just gonna head off to the surf. I'm gonna keep persisting over here and see if I can't get something a little bit more substantial, and then I'm gonna walk down to the lake and cast a few lures. I might go a little bit lighter this week. I was fishing a bit heavy with the lures last week, but I want to enjoy it a little bit, so I think I might go a little bit lighter on the lures, but I'll see what happens anyway. I'm just going to put another bait rod out and go from there, I guess. Well, I'm wondering if I should try in the lake as well for a bream. I might as well. Oh, decisions. What do we do? We did get a few mullet over here, and we can persist with the mullet. Or do we wing it, walk over to the lake, and then fish the lake for the afternoon sort of running in tide? Well, I guess I might give that a shot and see what happens. Okay, let's do that. Okay, we're gonna do something a little bit different. I'm just gonna go for a bit of a wander and try and find some tailor or even more mullet. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But I will take some lures. Just travel a bit light, a couple of rods, a rod holder, and have a go, see what happens. Let's see if we can bring back some more fish. I'm just gonna lock this up. All right. Good. Yeah, hello. All right, mate. Where are you? Yeah. So over to the beach. No worries. Are they good sizes? Yeah, mate. I'll see you soon. Yes, I will see you soon. I will see you soon. I'm heading down there now. Okay, bud. Ciao, ciao. Bye-bye. He's on the beach and he reckons he's got 4 salmon or 3 salmon. He's had 4 casts and he's got 3 salmon. So I might head down to the beach now and have a bit of a cast for salmon over there. Okay, we're going that way down to the beach. Sometimes with the fishing, you gotta put in a little bit of work. Includes a bit of walking. I'm not a fan of walking, I'm not gonna lie. But when it comes to fishing, yeah, that little bit of exercise, that's all the exercise that I'm gonna do. A bit of a hill here, but that's okay. All right. Been walking for about 4 minutes now. I'm sure y'all didn't want to hear me panting and carrying on, but it's worth it. Have a look at that. That's amazing. All right, let's get set up. Let's get into it. See what we can pull out from this lovely deep gutter in the front here. Beautiful, bit of white water in the back. Working, perfect for salmon. It's a bit of a big surf, so I'm going to cast a slightly heavier lure. This is a 40 gram. Let's see how we go. Neal's down the beach a bit. Let's stay over there, not too far. I kind of like the way the water looks just in front of me, or just to the left of me. It's a nice deep little hole there. So let's have a bit of a cast and see. I expected it to be a lot windier out here, but it's not. It's actually not that bad. I'm gonna cast it just in front of that white water. Just there. That's it.
I've not had a touch since I rang you.
Since you rang me. They'd obviously they'd be moving.
I've got them all just here.
Yeah, they've been moving up and down. This is a nice gutter here with that bank in the back.
I'm going to go up this way further and just see.
They might have moved up that way, but they'll come back down.
Yeah. I'll probably move up here.
Yeah. That's fishing. It's a bit rough. Neal's hooked up to another fish, and seems like a better fish, better salmon. Just got him in the wash there. They go very hard for this size. So he's gonna keep going for salmon. That's a better fish. That's a better fish, mate. Ah, got him.
I nearly ended up with a hook in me.
I saw that, it was very close. I got it on camera.
Oh my goodness.
That's a better fish. Okay, I actually hooked this fish. I hooked this fish twice. And that was the third time, and I lost it.
Oh, shit.
Again.
Oh, no.
That's all right. Okay, so I've just walked over to the estuary. Water's really high today, which is a good thing. Walk along here. Can't see anything happening in the water yet. But we'll give it a go. Set up a little rod for bream while I'm spinning for tailor. It's the same setup as before. The wind is actually behind me a bit now. And the water's really high. So hopefully we can land a fish or two. See what happens. Fish really light. I'll drop to 8.5 pounds. I'm going to use an 8.5 pound leader. It's an odd size. I got this online. For some reason they got all these odd sizes. Neal's having fun on the surf with the salmon, and I caught a few salmon previously, so I'd rather catch a few bream now.
or even a flathead. We did get a flathead here the last time. It was on a blue bait. But we did get one nevertheless. I love fishing the estuaries and rivers and lakes, salt water, and just enjoying that little bit of peace and quiet. It is actually very therapeutic. Now, let's grab myself one of these lovely worms. Stick that on the hook. Remember, I left that tag slightly longer so it acts as a sort of, if you could see that, it acts as a bait keeper. Put that little worm out there. See what happens. Gotta be in it to win it, they say. So let's get in it. So while that's out there, now I can cast some lures. Had a bite on that one. Alright, let's see what this is. I think it's still there. Yep, definitely a fish. That's on the bait. There's a bit of a snag in front of me here. Try and get him away from the snag. That's a bream. It's only a little one. It's only a little bream, but that's, oopsie, camera, but that's a bream there. And let's get him back in the water. Come on, off you go. Look at him. Whee! Gone. Okay, let's get this bait back out there. And see if we can't get another fish. That didn't take long, that one actually. I think I just stay here close to the rod. Okay, go into another one. Behaving like a small bream. Try and get him away from that snag there. Again, when you're fishing this light line, you kind of just got to let them do what they want to do, I guess. Nah, really? It's actually a good fish. You're not gonna believe this crap. Okay, I'll give you all a look at this fish. And then we'll give it a bit of a measure. I reckon he's around the 30 centimeter mark. He's actually not a bad fish. That's a good bream. Okay guys, that fish went 32 centimeters, which is generally a size I like to keep if you're after a small feed, because they're really good eating fish. Bream. There's some mullet jumping in the front there. See if we can't get a few more. We're not after monsters, we're just after a feed. And we're gonna have some fun as well. So that was a bite straight away there. A little bit of a nibble. See if he comes back. Yep, he's coming back. And he might have it. Yep. Oh, no. Dropped it. He had it for a while. He played with it for a while. I think he might have done my bait. Because he had a few goes at it. Okay, let's get it back out and get another worm on it, I reckon. So I reckon he's done me. Sure has. Cleaned it up. That couple of taps I had, that's what he's done. It's gone. Gone like last week's pay. Let's get another fat worm. Put another fat worm on there. Usually I'll pump my own worm. I was a bit lazy today. I will do a video of me pumping worm as well, and what I look for. I've actually pumped worm along here as well on a low tide. Believe it or not, you can see the holes in there. Anyway, there's this guy hooked. Whatever he is, might be a toadie. Who knows? He's not doing much. Got a bit of weight to him now. It's a mullet. It's another yellow wire mullet. I reckon that's what's been biting all this time. Another yellow wire mullet there. Good eating fish. We'll keep him. This fish, I've hooked this fish and he's actually just swam in with the hook. What's going on here? Couldn't even feel the weight on it. And hey, another yellow eye mullet there. Beautiful. bread and butter species. I mean, when we drive up to Gippsland every week, we kind of wing it. I mean, we do buy food and stuff, but sometimes we just wing it and we go, okay, we'll catch what we eat. Being a bit confident there. But generally you'll catch a feed of something, whether it be mullet or bream or salmon, tailor. That was almost instant again. Oh, I lost him. Jeez, that was these mullet are hungry. But they're just mouthing off at the worm. They're not really swallowing it. Maybe I should try a shiner hook. That's a circle. It's a little bit thicker. And I do have little shiners. Maybe a shiner hook would be bit smaller, but the gape is a bit wider, and I think for the mullet that'll be better. Let's give it a shot. That shiner. These are called shiner hooks. Before the circles came out, I used to use these hooks a lot. Then I got used to fishing with the circle hooks, which is hard to in the beginning because as a fisherman you are programmed to strike when a fish bites. With a circle hook, it takes that away. They just hook themselves as they turn and swim away with your bait. I don't know what happened with the GoPro there, but it went a bit silly. I was saying sometimes it takes a while to work out what the fish are doing, but when you do, it can be a bit rewarding. So I just changed it over, put that shiner hook on, and what I'm actually doing now is I'm not putting the rod in the rod holder, I'm just casting it and then just slowly retrieving it a little bit till that mullet actually chases that worm. And two things happen when you do that. You get a feel of what the bottom is like where you've casted, and that feels a bit snaggy to me. I say a bit of debris washed in down on the bottom. There is a bit of a weed edge here, but it's not much. Okay, that is an Australian salmon. There we go. That's it. A little Aussie salmon. What happened to you? Oh, he's got a little... Have a look at this, guys. This is the first time I've seen it on an Australian salmon. But he's actually got a little parasite hanging on to his fin there. Look at that. This guy. That was just sitting on the back of him there. Okay, we're on again with the bait rod. Again, it's not doing much. It's swimming towards me now. And probably play up in the front over here, but yeah. This feels very broomy. Might be wrong though. Yeah, it is broomy. It's only a little one. Oh, he's actually taken that hook right down. It's a very light line, so I can just do that. Chuck him back. Okay, just change that lure to a mullet looking one again, and more solid fish over here. It's a tailor. It's a good tailor. That's a decent tailor. Alright. It's a decent chopper. Oh, and the other rod is going off too. I got a circle on that, so it should hook itself up. That's a nice tailor there. I'm gonna bleed him. He'll be fine there. I'm pretty sure might have a fish on here, because this is a circle hook. Yep, I was right. Okay. This might be another little bream. Snag over there. I'll keep him away from that snag. He's got a bit of weight to him. Might be a ludwig actually. No, it is a bream. It's a fat. He's a little one, but he's fat. He's a pretty fat bream. It's only about a 30, maybe a 31 or 32.